And we're crossing to Berlin, where the German Chancellor is facing the media after a setback for her CDU party in regional elections.
Und trotz Licht und Schatten muss man sagen, dass gestern ein schwerer Tag für die
Angela Merkel here saying there is light and dark. Yesterday was a very bad day for our party. We've had some talks, and this was the spirit of our talks, this bad news. One of the main topics, of course, was the migrants crisis. And of course, in the public domain, this topic has not yet been dealt with. This is what we talked about, and we've made some progress on that. But it's not like we have a final answer yet. But I am convinced that we do need a European solution and that this solution needs time. We have reduced the number of refugees significantly and the number of people arriving in Greece. But this final solution, this future solution, has not yet been found. I would like to say thank you to my colleagues in those three states. They did a great job in this election, campaigning in this election, especially in these difficult times. One of them has a clear mandate to form a regional government. But I'd also like to say that even though we did lose in terms of percentages, we actually did win more votes than last time, simply because voter participation was much higher this time, so we did get more votes than at the last elections.
Rot-Grün abzuwählen, das andere Ziel, selber stärkste Partei zu werden. Das hat leider nicht geklappt, aber die CDU Rheinland-Pfalz hat einen...
Angela Merkel here now talking about the south of Germany, where she says only 2 of the goals were partly achieved. One was to end the CDU Green coalition, which hasn't quite gone as expected. And in Rhineland-Palatinate, she congratulates the SPD, the socialists who won in that state.
Nicht immer einfach, aber auch hier ein herzliches Dankeschön. Auch hier ist die jetzige Koalition von Grün-Rot abgewählt und damit sind neue Bündnisse möglich und die CDU in Baden-Württemberg wird entscheiden, wie sie mit dieser
The CDU is now preparing for a completely new situation, says the Chancellor, for a new combination of parties. But the main question remains, she says, and that's the question over the migrants. And as far as the anti-immigration AfD party is concerned, this is the party that's made gains in all 3 states that went to the polls. Angela Merkel here is saying that she reckons that this party needs to should be engaged with, and the arguments should be put forward, and we need to engage with that party.
Dass nicht alle Fragen heute schon abschließend beantwortet werden können, sondern wir werden noch eine Weile hier auch.
Of course, this party made unprecedented gains in the elections. Angela Merkel here says that it's clear that we're not going to be able to answer all of the questions, and we won't be able to answer all of those in our talks today. But of course, this is something that we will be continuing with.
Die Veränderung der Welt sozusagen so
and And here she says the world in general has changed. We're confronted with a global situation that is unprecedented, and it's to be expected that some of these challenges that we're facing require answers that have not yet been found, and those answers need time. So repeating what she said at the beginning of her reaction in front of the media here today. And she's also talking here about her sister party, the CSU. She says both parties have a lot of things in common. There are, of course, some problems. Especially in terms of the possible limit on the migration rate, those coming in. She says they do have differences on this. Of course, the CSU in Bavaria have a difference of opinion about the limits on migrants. She says the negotiations will continue. The coalition talks will continue in those states. So the German Chancellor facing the media after the setback for her CDU party in these regional elections, defeated in 2 out of 3 states. And as we've heard in the news, the anti-immigration AfD party celebrating, entering state parliaments for the first time in those 3 regions. And many of the commentators are saying that this appears to be the voters punishing the Chancellor Angela Merkel and her conservative Christian Democrats, rejecting her open-door refugee policy, or considered to have been an open-door refugee policy. And the main message there from Angela Merkel, we have to find solutions, but we haven't found those yet, and talks will go on.
Und da sehen wir, dass wir sehr, sehr massiv eben abgegeben haben an die AfD, aber in der Mitte nichts verloren haben, also weder an Rot noch an Grün. CDU und SPD trennen rund 100.000 Stimmen.